Alright, apologies for the slight delay, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, but Shift and I are here, and we are live, and we are just getting the runners geared up and good to go. Yeah, so, real fast, it looks like we have two fighter rainbows going. This wasn't a draft, I think they just both decided that they really like the fighter rainbow. Shift, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Wout. How are you doing this fine evening?
Could be better, could be worse. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this gate opened.
Sounds like a plan.
So, yeah.
Hopefully Skyweek treats these guys well.
I mean, it's one of those things, it seems to be that Skyweek has been either feast or famine.
That certainly makes sense, especially with the extra access to Sky. If you do find the items you need to get there quickly, it's a gold mine.
Yeah. I mean, also is the fact I rolled this seed, so there's no telling what's going to happen. The last Sky seed I rolled for someone apparently had stun touch imps out the gate, and a red dragon thunder red dragons on the first encounter in Fire Floor of Temple of Fiends Revisited, so I don't know what happened between those 2 points, but they seemed very unhappy.
That doesn't seem like a good start and end to a seed.
Yeah, I mean, they were still able to make Temple of Fiends Revisited in like an hour and a half. It's just, actually clearing Chaos apparently took significantly longer. But hopefully that won't happen to our runners here tonight.
Yeah, here we go with, getting started. Gonna see what's in our black magic, and it's nothing. Basically nothing.
I mean, hold and stun can be helpful.
To
and
some
hey, at least
degree.
we have Ruse and Invis too, and Ruse is in that night learnable slot, so
And
that's
I mean,
definitely
if
going to help.
you're truly desperate to try and get through early Provoca and you have absolutely nothing else, you can Dark the Pirates.
I think I'd rather take my chances with getting to level 2 or 3 on the imps and just buying a spell in Provoca.
That's another option, but who knows what Provoca has for us. Hopefully it's
How can
just
it
as
be
good.
worse?
I'm rooting for, like, Temper, Fast, all the late game spells, no wipes.
I mean, at that point, you're fine. You just temper up someone who can hit things hard, and you go from there. This is, honestly, this is the kind of situation where you kind of look at it and go, you know, it'd be nice if the princess gave me a Thor hammer.
Yeah, that would be beautiful right now.
But we can see both of the runners are staring at these magic shops and asking themselves, what do I do with this?
They're taking a good long look at these things and buying weapons and, you know...
I mean, it's one of those things, this is a start that you don't necessarily get to practice too often. A situation where you don't necessarily have all the tools out the gate that you're used to having. Because it's really hard for a black magic spell to land not at first level as a sweep.
And XRB is so annoyed by the first level spells that he's even taking a cabin to Toph to have that save right there. I agree with this play. I think that's a good idea considering you have no sweepers.
Yeah, I don't think that was so much a I've made bad life choices paradox. I think what it was is I don't know what spells I'm supposed to buy in this situation.
Yeah. I think he took a stop on someone.
Well, Durrun definitely took stop, and it didn't work out very well. Yeah, neither of these runners seem to be taking advantage of power cycling. Is that a goal with Stinger?
It is. That was a ghoul with Stinger, and XRB power cycled through a couple of fights in Toph, but none of them were good. They were all horrible.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I think if he'd gone off straight power cycle instead, that might have helped a little bit, because it looks like off the power cycle, from what I was seeing, they get a good 20 or 30 steps before they see a fight, and that's at least enough to let you peep that first chest before deciding if there's worth in Toph.
That is definitely a worthwhile point as well.
Yeah.
But now we have some imp farming. Imps rolled a little bit high on health, but not absurdly so.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if these runners are aware of the quote-unquote safe spaces around Canaria. Because a fact that I wasn't aware of until I really started getting into the randomizer. Basically, most of those grass tiles between where you start and that kind of forest just path past the branch off toward dwarves that the devs added, you don't take fights there. They don't advance the step counter. The forest isn't safe, and there are a few grass tiles that are, dangerous, but from the looks of things, if you stick to mostly safe tiles, you can run all the way to Toph from Power Cycle.
Could be useful for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now both sides are trying to get weapons on their people, trying to find some way to progress through this early little game.
Yeah, honestly, like I said, I think this is a situation, you take a few imp fights, you get the experience to where you can use that level 2 magic, you get a little money, you go over to Provoke and you see what happens.
Absolutely.
But I'm also one of those weirdos who's just like, I'll check Temple of Fiends later, and leaves.
I mean, it's not that hard to get back until you're pretty far out, so you have some time.
Yeah. Well, more specifically, I'll go fight Garland, and just not even bother with the boxes in Temple of Fiends, but
that can be a little bit scary with
runners...
loose items out there.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, the canal does change the calculus a little bit for me, but, not enough. To where it's just
You're a man of risk taking.
I would skip. Oh, no, absolutely. It's one of those things, see, I'm personally bad at this game, and so the only way I can possibly keep up with people who are good at this game is by doing dumb things that they won't.
Okay.
On the odds in my favor.
See, I'm a dirty casual.
Oh, I'm a dirty casual too. That's why I'm so bad at it. Anyway, Durrun is taking on Garland again. I expect Bishop will be taking the fight to Garland shortly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like
seems
Garland...
likely.
Yeah. Oh, Garland has stun touch. That's a problem. He's dead, though, so it's not that big a problem.
There are many worse things that Garland could have, so I'll take it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You take those. So Durrun gets a crown from the king. And Prince...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the princess hands over an herb, so, who likes the Elfland area? Because I think we're going to be going to the Elfland area sooner rather than...
I
later.
agree. It's fetch quest time, and XRB takes care of Garland thanks to stun touching Garland before Garland could stun touch anyone else. And here we go.
Is it really I was gonna say, is it really a stun touch if you're just, using your mind bullets against him?
I don't know. It still causes paralysis.
Yeah, I guess this depends on if we consider any of the stunning spells to be touch attacks. And high fade.
Yeah.
And exit. So,
a little better than level 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if you're either of these runners right now, well, Durrun now, xRussianbishop in about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
There has to be a thought going in your, in the back of your head. Did my opponent just go screw it and go to Provoca first? Because if so, I am so behind now. Oh, hi, Warp. And Lock 2.
Yeah. So, high evasion fiends later, not going to be a problem. And
yeah,
it's not like you don't have room for them, so there you go.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, it's just literally grab Warp, grab Lock 2, grab Fade, and grab Exit. Boom, your shopping trip is done, and you're now armed to the teeth for the remainder of the seed.
Yep, easy life. It sets up a good possible ice trip if canoe is found sometime soon, since you'll have warp for it.
Mm-hmm. And then exit to just go ahead and get out after you've done the warp trick. Like, you know, sometimes when you do the warp trick, you still have to deal with actually climbing out of ice, but that's not even a problem this time.
And we have a loot on Bicky, which is, I mean, no progression at all, but hey, you have to get that at some point.
Uh-huh. And hey, the bright side is, at least when you're forced to go to the Elfland area by this seed, there's not anything pulling you in another direction.
Agreed.
So I imagine we'll see both these runners make the run up to Matoya real quick, check those 3 chests, figure out if they have to actually go into Marsh Cave or not, find out they have to go into Marsh Cave because I rolled this seed, so of course they have to go into Marsh Cave, and then be really happy that they have warp and exit for Marsh Cave.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I would go to Matoya. I might be taking the gamble there as opposed to the Toph gamble.
See, it's one of those things where the main reason that I take that TOF gamble is because usually I just don't feel like I have the tools necessary to cleanly get in and out of Temple of Fiends. Matoya is a different story. You have the tools to do that because all you're dealing with are imps and mad ponies, and especially with 2 Fade casters, yeah, like, that's a safe bet at this point. And, oh yeah, we also have to check dwarves at some point, so
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if either of these runners decides to gamble. It's probably in Marsh. Because even with Fade, with Warp and Exit, if your opponent checks one of these locations and the canal's there, and you went to Marsh, you are easily 5 to 10 minutes behind the 8 ball.
That's true. It's just that you know that there's something happening when you turn in that herb, so... And it looks like that's Durrun's plan here.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things, I don't blame him for this move. He has 2 incentive location checks he can make, and if he gets, like, Floater and Canoe out of this, he doesn't have to care about Matoya or the Marsh Cave.
Exactly.
And, well, there's that Thor hammer we were talking about before.
That's not a bad thing. Not at all.
Yeah,
now you have 3 people with wipes.
Yeah, I like him putting it on the Black Mage. So you have the fighter there to take punches and hit things. You let the Black Mage get that free Lit 2 cast going, and everyone else is unleashing holy hell. Literally. Anyway, that's Zap, Fire 3, and Fast at level 3 Black.
Yeah, that's certainly going to help out his Black Mage quite a bit. For both, of course.
Yeah.
But I agree with the Thor hammer on the Black Mage for now. And it is just like his characters say. Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss.
Yeah, let's see. So we've got
wanna rock and roll all night.
Take a little bit of English off of that there, Shift.
No.
Alright. I'm just watching out for our viewers' ears.
You picked the wrong guy to cast with then, because that's not going to be the only time.
Well, I was more talking about the volume than your tone was good. All right.
I'll keep it back a little bit.
Yeah. Just like dial it back 2 notches and you're golden on the volume. But that's neither here nor there. So Durrun is on his way to go ahead and fight Astos. Russian's on the way to turn in this herb. You realize that with them doing all of these things that aren't the Dwarf Cave, the canal's in the Dwarf Cave, right?
French vanilla?
We're both just going to acknowledge that it's in
wow.
one of the 2 boxes in Dwarf Cave.
Astos with a floater. That's a big deal.
Yeah. The good news is if Astos turns out to have something nasty and doesn't go down to a few fades and getting popped in the face, which is not looking like it's happening, he's dead. I was going to say, at the very least, if you have to come back to do Astos later, the floater is not going to be directly blocking your progression until you have the canoe anyway.
Exactly. Need one to make the other work.
Yeah. So, Durrun looks like he's gonna go probably check, maybe check the rest of the spells. I looked up just in time to see Soft and Harm 3 for level 3 white, but I didn't see the rest of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think now that Durrun has grabbed his incentivized checks, he wants to go check Matoya and Dwarves.
Hold on. Did he save after Astos or before Astos?
I believe that was after.
I hope for his sake it is, because he's going to be very, mixed up otherwise.
Because these look like the level 7 totals. And Astos was what gave him level 7.
Yeah, I think you might be right, so...
So I think we're okay on Durrun's side.
I hope so. No, there is no feeling more awful than getting an incentive item, wiping before you save, but already being in that mindset of, well, I gotta check something else now. Because that is a path that leads unto madness.
Yeah.
Because you...
Especially
Yeah.
with a kind of annoying place like Northwest Castle that doesn't have the easiest access in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, judging by that gold total, yeah, he saved after he killed Asta.
Yeah.
Because he
So
did
we
not
have
have that much money when he came here the first time.
XRB is headed to Marsh now.
Yeah. It's an interesting play. I didn't even see Confusion was also at level 3 Black Magic. So Confusion is my personal favorite for dealing with carry.
Yeah, you're a fan of that?
Yeah, mostly because I can't remember which of the other status spells are power words versus which ones are like actual status spells. Okay, I didn't miss anything in level 3 white magic. There is nothing here.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there.
Like, if it weren't for that fade at level 2, this would be prime Danning the White Mage territory.
I completely agree. Although,
But,
hey, she's one of your best attackers right now.
Yeah, because of fade. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, the magic in the seed has been utter garbage, but fade is at level 2, so the White Mage must live.
I was actually saying because there hasn't been a better weapon than an iron hammer, also.
Okay, this is also fair. I don't know. We have scimitars and falchions. And I think we saw a longsword in the weapon shop in Provoca, maybe. So, also Scums apparently rolled high for HP today.
Yeah, seems
You can
like
tell because they lived through a lit 2.
They did. And XRB took the chance, too. I mean, at least they didn't do anything scary. They just seemed punchy.
Alright, Saber and Temperate level 4 black, and White Magic has Xfer, A-Rub, and Cure 3, so... Yeah.
XP occasionally does stuff.
Yeah. I think you got your wish. I think we've got, like, one good black magic spell that's not a buff in the first 4 levels.
Yeah, that always makes me happy. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just rude.
I mean, I think you just don't like black mages. Have you considered that as a possibility?
Come on, bro. I love black mages.
I mean, it's one of those things I judge everyone who isn't Team Red Mage equally, so...
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'm a thief guy.
Yeah, I'm a thief guy by default because one of my significant others is a thief kind of woman, so I always bring a thief so I can name my thief after her.
Aw, that's really sweet.
And then the other one's long-haired and awesome, so I get to name my fighter after her. And so I only have one party member available most of the time, because 3 of them are already committed.
This was the only thing that made me sad about this game, is that you don't exactly get spoken to by name a lot. So you can't name your character like My Face and have a king just screaming, My face! My face!
Yeah. Now, I had the realization today, while playing Free Enterprise, that I could just basically... I had just enough room to name most everyone after a different JoJo protagonist. And that has made things way more entertaining.
Exactly. Naming characters is my favorite part of RPGs.
My favorite part is spending 20 hours in the character creator, because it's just like, no, I can get this nose looking slightly better. Anyway, Durrun finally showing us something new. We're going to see what the dwarves have. Okay.
Or nothing.
So the canal's either the canal or a loose item leading to canal is somewhere down here.
Or a loose canoe.
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh, leading to canal, but I mean, canoe might not lead. You might not care about canal at that point.
Yeah, it could in theory. Well, Russian Bishop doesn't know that there's a floater waiting for him just north of here.
Yeah, Bishop has taken this play quickly.
Well, I don't blame him. Because if he finds something useful down here, that makes his life a little bit easier dealing with Astos. So, alright.
In theory. I mean,
yeah.
With double fade, Astos was not in the greatest shape regardless.
Yeah. I do find his routing through this floor interesting. Rather than doing the room with the two chests to get, like, instead of skipping the upper left-hand corner and grabbing that chest in the two-chest room, he grabs that chest, he grabs the one chest below it, he goes right and grabs the one chest that still has something in it, then he comes down here, gets this chest, he's going to go over to the right and grab that chest, and then run up to the upper right-hand corner to get the last chest.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go about things. I mean, we'll get there. Besides, all the extra experience you get, because that's what you come to Marsh for, right?
I mean, Marsh is an experience, so you're not wrong.
It's definitely an experience, indeed. And Bishop is just enjoying it. Meanwhile, we have a 1 HP Red Mage. Ugh.
I like Durrun trying to take the shot with the fade.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Are you a basketball fan? Is that why you like the shot with the fade?
No, actually.
And there it is.
Yep. I personally was kind of pulling for this to be the key. Because that would be the rudest possible thing that still technically is progression.
That would be kind of funny. Although that would open a lot of chests right now.
That's why it's so rude. Because you don't have the canoe, but you now have to crisscross the inner sea, finding the other loose item or the canal, so that you can actually, like, move on with the video game.
Sure, but at the same time, you also get a ton of equipment in the meantime because you're opening so many of those chests.
Equipment doesn't matter.
I mean, some of it can.
Some of it can, but it's one of those things where you can have all the equipment in the world, and then you'll still die to something that deals 200 damage because you're underleveled.
Oh, of course. Thunder can still ruin your day. Damage poison can be out there somewhere.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, is it's just like, yes, equipment's nice, but it's not the be-all, end-all.
No, but it is a way to avoid dying later on. So at least with the key, you're getting something that's preserving your life for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So Bishop gets here with much worse resources and spells remaining for Astos, but as we've seen, not a frightening Astos today.
Yep. Bit unfortunate, but what can you do?
I guess you just have to destroy the Astos.
Yep.
And then we have more blazing arachnids over there.
I apologize for nothing, just so it's clear.
This is not friendly, because you
No,
do
it
have
isn't.
to make that walk a couple of times, too.
Yeah, no, Shift, you do realize there's a reason that people dread me rolling seeds, right?
I'm starting to understand, definitely. It's starting to become more clear right now. Because those arachnids are just mean.
I believe, excuse me, the phrase that someone who asked me to roll them a Sky Seed just... They're not in the tournament, they just wanted to see what the Sky Week seed was like. Or flags were like. I believe when they were done, the phrase that they asked was, so is this a seed you rolled, or did you just find this demon seed somewhere?
You're creating plandos on the fly?
I've done that on a couple of occasions, just kind of throwing things together and creating some very interesting results. Like, I once rolled a floor entrance shuffle seed that involved a dungeon at Elfland Castle that was about 10 floors deep. But at the back of it was a Matoya who gave you a nuke staff. And it was just like, huh, I didn't mean to create a bonus dungeon when I made these flags, but I guess there's a bonus dungeon here now.
Yeah, hooray for bonus dungeon.
But yeah, so it's one of those things like the dice gods smile upon my fingers when I roll a seed. So,
Wow.
okay. Here's the quandary now, though, if you're Russian Bishop. Where do you go?
I guess maybe you take the long sail over to Crescent?
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, though, you already made that marsh play, and, you know, it wound up being the right move. Do you dare to go for the marsh and earth play in the same race?
Oh, it just doesn't seem right now. You already have a floater if there's a canoe waiting for you at Crescent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would dive Earth in a million years here.
Yeah, no, I think the right move is you go check Crescent Lake and find out if the old men have your airship access. But,
which would be fantastic.
What if the right play were to go to Earth first?
See, here's what I think is going to happen. We're going to have old men with the ruby.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
And then we're going to have, like, Cube and Chime at Titan and Sarda.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for here. Durrun knows! Oh, we must kill the arachnid.
Just dumping everything into hitting the arachnid.
All of those attacks were directly at the arachnid.
I mean, it's the right move.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get blazed.
Yeah, you're not gonna kill the scum with attacks anyway, so you might as well just make sure that arachnid has as few chances to hurt you as possible.
And so these are back-to-back unrunnable blaze arachnids in Marsh. Somehow Bishop avoided this.
I'm not entirely sure how. I think he may have power cycled past it. Or something. Like, I have to assume one of these runners is using power cycles and the other isn't.
Yeah, I mean, XRB, I don't even think he saw one of these arachnids cast Blaze the whole time yet. There hasn't been a wipe on his side.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. We haven't seen him wipe. So...
Yeah, there hasn't been anything like that. And, oh gosh. Meanwhile, back-to-back unrunnable arachnids is just... oof.
Yeah. So, Russian Bishop taking this opportunity to go ahead and examine the contents of... Okay, Melman with the goods today. That's a life 2 and a Wall available, along with Quack and Lit 3. That is some strong magic in Melmond.
Yeah, that's totally doable. Life 2 is huge.
Yeah, and that's in a red mage learnable spot, if I'm not mistaken. So that's...
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, that's something that as soon as Russian Bishop has a little bit of scratch, he is coming back for.
Without a doubt. We haven't seen a lot of the insta-kills out there yet, shuffled onto these enemies.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, we also haven't seen many of the insta-kills shuffled into the black magic. I think we've seen Quack and Zap. So, you know, the best group attack and the worst group attack.
That's fair.
I mean, that's actually just literally what we're looking at.
Yeah. I mean, the Black Mage can cast Fire 3. Fire 3 could be worse.
Yeah. Durrun, meanwhile, is continuing to have to just kind of punch his way through this maze. Russian Bishop not stopping to look in the item shop. I guess he figures he'll be back to look at these after he sees what the old men have.
And it is the xRussianbishop.
Nice call.
I love it.
So, the good news is that opens up 2 more checks for Russian Bishop. The bad news is that those 2 checks are on the other side of the hemisphere, and require a lot of walking through some fairly unpleasant territory.
Absolutely. Hopefully there's a little bit of expedience coming his way soon here, though.
Yeah. He definitely did not check the item shop in Crescent, if I'm not crazy.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, so...
Which is interesting, because I would think you'd want to save a couple times before, between here and there.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of the vendor item. We don't know where that is yet.
That's true as well, but that you can come back for. Doesn't really have a ton of money right now. But when you have multiple reasons
but if
to
it's
check,
something like... Yeah, but if it's something like the rod or the chime, or the cube, like something that could, in theory, be something that can lead you into checking boxes that have the loose item you need.
Yeah, I agree. The only way it really makes sense is if you're never going to Earth. If his choice is that basically no matter what, Earth is not happening unless you get thrown only there, then it makes sense because you're coming right back, but it's a pretty quick check when you're in the town already.
Yeah.
And I mean, we didn't see anything scary on the sea before, but now he's lost his fighter.
What happened? Was it just a hard hit from the shark, or do the sharks have death touch?
The sharks have death touch.
Oh, okay. Russian Bishop, did he...
We hadn't seen anything scary on the sea, so a bit of a gamble.
Yeah. I'm wondering if did he save on his way back from Crescent, or is that the save he made before he left for Crescent?
Yeah, this looks like it was right outside of Crescent beforehand. I don't think this was after.
It might have been after. I remember him running straight over to the lake.
Yeah, so this was...
I
remember him running straight out. So, yeah. I mean, it sort of makes sense because he had not seen anything scary on the sea, and he had fought all the sea monsters.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Opting to not save, though.
He did buy 10 cabins. 8 cabins. He bought cabins, so...
Yeah, he probably bought 10 and used 2, because that's how math works.
Wait, 10 minus 2 is 8?
I mean, last I checked.
Those are some bizarre cobras. They're not doing anything to you except wasting your time.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be 10 minus 2 equals 7. But no one works in base 9, so that's fine.
Sure. I agree. I like the number 9. I'd rather keep it.
I mean, 9 was alright back in its heyday, but after that whole episode with 7, I can't blame it for just not being itself anymore.
Yeah. You never want to get eaten.
Exactly.
That seems like a terrible fate.
I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely... Okay, there we are. I had absolutely no idea where Russian Bishop was. Like, that stretch of coastline just was completely alien to me.
He's going back.
Yeah, that's because he realized, oh, okay, I'm over by Marsh Cave. That's not where I wanted to be. Durrun, meanwhile, I think is trying to sail south around to Crescent Lake and got a little bit mixed up on where the dock is relative to the south coast of the southern continent. But a hearty hello to Speed Gaming 2, who is dropping 64 people on us with a small raid. Thank you very much, y'all. This is Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. Yeah. And this is kind of a point where the two runners are trying to figure out where they can go that won't murder them horrifically, because, yeah, these arachnids are about to do terrible things to Russian Bishop if he doesn't, like, take them out immediately.
Because they have Blaze on their first action. Uh-oh. Here it goes.
Yep, and there's the reset.
Yeah. So if anyone's an arachnophobic, this is the stream that's going to confirm your fears today.
Well, I mean, it was either this or Animal Crossing, so...
Exactly. And this is way better, so welcome.
Maybe.
Well, I'm here right now, so I'm going to shill this.
Fair enough. I'm just not going to talk down my relaxing Zen rock garden simulator. Anyway, there's the canoe. So we have airship access as soon as xRussian Bishop can get back to the Ryokan Desert. So here is the question for you, Shift. Do you even bother going to check Sarda right now?
I think I do. I don't know. It's just like when you're running away. It's a close call.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too big a drain on time to, you know, go poke your head at Sarda's.
I think some of it depends on how well you know the map as well.
Yeah, true. I guess if you're not confident, you're going to remember how to fly back here right away. But wow, that's a very nice thing to find.
When you already have canoe and floater.
Well, the other nice thing about this is that it means that you can go ahead and hand the go ahead and get Fade on that night as well.
Yeah, and you're gonna have all of your charges to use it.
And Ruse. I actually forgot that Ruse is also going to be available to that night. So.
Wow. Yeah. Level 1.
Yeah. And Durrun did check magic where Russian Bishop didn't, and apparently Quadex and Brack are going to be waiting at level 6 black. So that's a good combination of spells right there, because that's going to allow for some instant kills in places that you really want to be able to instant kill things.
Absolutely. I'm a huge Quadex fan. I think a lot of people still, especially a lot of the older school runners, kind of don't like it.
Well, it's one of those things where Quad X is a little bit of gamble just because you don't know how much health something's going to have left. Yeah. But if you're willing to take a gamble or two and you're willing to kind of use your best estimate, like, you know, well, I know that the health has to be somewhere around here because it's lived this long. So it's probably Quad Xable at this point.
And sometimes it's your last chance. Sometimes you're saying, well, I'm really hoping that it rolled to 88% and not 230% today.
Legit. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like dump 600 HP of damage into carry and she's not dead. You bet your bottom dollar I'm going to Quad X her.
Absolutely.
Because she's probably in Quad Xing range at that point.
Yeah, a little over 2/3 of the time, she will be.
Oh, don't you statistic at me. You know
Don't I statistic? Come on.
Yeah.
Should I just be singing instead?
Yeah, as long as you're not popping the volume levels.
Yeah, this time I won't eat the mic when I sing. I promise.
There you go. That's the way to handle it.
But, you know, what face in the chat if I'm wrong. You can feel free. I won't be offended.
But yeah, so Durrun is going to have a bit of a journey ahead of him because he just has a fighter standing and is in Melmond. 3 guesses why this is a problem.
3 guesses. I don't even need that many.
But, oh, that's something Russian Bishop didn't see. That's 3.5k pro rings.
That's cheap. But nobody has money yet.
Yeah, but Russian Bishop's about to have money. Like, he just needs to go over to the Cardia Islands, go ahead and get that clash change, and most importantly, start opening boxes.
Yeah.
And he'll have the money real quick to buy whatever he wants. Or at least enough to buy what he needs.
In theory. There are so many things that can be shuffled into boxes. It could be, you know, all the usable items. Wow. Not even doing it, just starting a volcano dive.
It's an interesting call, and it's not one I think I agree with.
I
Like,
think
to be completely
XRB
honest,
seems to...
I think...
He likes to dive dungeons fast. Oh.
Yeah, nah. Well, okay, here's the thing, is... that fighter is going to start picking up spell levels once he hits level, I want to say, it's either 15 or 17. I can't remember if you get that first spell slot when you hit 15. Or 15 just starts the every odd level you gain an extra spell slot counter.
Right.
But either way, the longer you hold off that clash change, the higher the threshold's going to be for your knight to start getting those white magic spells. And
Ruse and Fade are big.
oh, absolutely. Like, getting Ruse on that knight, especially with Invis 2 available on your to your red wizard and your white mage, at level 1, that pretty much negates the need to hunt down the defense sword and the white shirt. You'll have enough ability to stack evasion.
Yeah, to some degree, that's the case. Plus, you have a white mage that'll be a white wizard and find Invis 2 somewhere, in theory.
No, Invis 2 is in the 4th slot of level 1. It's red wizard and white mage accessible.
Oh, right. Right.
So, you have 18 shots of Invis 2 available, plus 4 casts of Ruse for the knight. And let's just face it, you're not doing anything else with those level 1 spells on either of those mages. So, that's enough evasion to get you through pretty much the entire game, especially if you ration it care a little bit going through Temple of Fiends.
I agree. Especially with...
So,
yeah. This is a nice little boost of expedience.
yeah.
It's
So,
a little
Durrun
unfortunate
finally...
that there's been no heal spells for Bishop to heal with here.
Yeah, you know, I didn't even think about that. I think we've seen, like... We've seen Cure 3. That's at level 4 white magic. And that's pretty much it. Cure 3 and Life 2 are your only 2 healing spells. In the first, like, 6 levels of magic.
Yeah.
So... Shout out Star Tracker, Daddy3883 for, excuse me, for keeping track of all the spells so I don't have to actually remember them or be looking at the runner's screens when they check black magic and white magic.
Yeah, that's very much appreciated. Interesting to be using fades on this on one red Hydra when it's runnable, but got the zap off first, so...
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where red hydras can hit kinda hard. Especially at these lower levels. So I don't blame him for wanting to just go ahead and execute them as quickly as possible.
And to be fair, he doesn't have a party that's particularly good at running. So that's at least a reason to think about that, but...
Yeah, and I expect what he's going to do is check this hairpin chest, and then reset out. I think he has a few houses in his inventory. Well, not reset, but warp out. Save his XP and money with those houses he picked up, and take it from there.
Yeah, he's got one house, one cabin. Houses were pretty expensive this time around. They were like 3,700, almost vanilla. And with no one having money from anything yet, yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, well... Fortunately, he's still got plenty of firepower, Red Bishop does. And he's gonna need every ounce of it to get past these red Ds.
They're fat, too.
Oh, yeah, that's some beefy boys right there.
Wait, what's the... Oh, no. This is quite a gamble.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't use that. Oh, I bet he's thinking I need to conserve the that level 2 slot for fading.
For exit,
Or
because
exiting.
he doesn't have warp.
No, he has warp. I saw it on the Black Mage, I thought.
Does he? He does. He has 4... Oh. Maybe yeah, now he realizes it, I think.
Yeah, I think it just clicked in his head. Wait, I don't need exit. But
Definitely gonna see a warp out here at this point.
uh-huh. Yeah.
So is this the point where Bishop decides to go take that trip to the islands?
Well, he's at least gonna go get this red mage revived, but he's got money now.
Yeah.
And apparently he's got someone poisoned. Oh, the black mage.
Is that just your favorite sound ever?
No! No, God, no!
Is it worse than Lux in the 7th Saga?
I never played the 7th Saga.
Ah, okay, so there's a character in the 7th Saga that's a robot.
Yeah.
Nobody else makes any noises when they walk around, but when you walk around with the robot, it goes chink, 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 chink.
Fair. I do know that the 7th Saga does use a similar sound effect to the poison sound for like half of its magic effects. I haven't played the game, but I have read the Let's Play of it a few times.
It's a beautiful game.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely beautiful, but I know for a fact I would never want to play it. Anyway, Russian Bishop has gotten his class changed, so...
Yeah. Let's see what else he searches in the islands today.
He like I said, he's got to you don't skip these. If you're here, like, unless you're already in go mode when you get here, you open these boxes and you find the delicious goods inside.
Oh.
Yes, I know
That's probably
that's not
some
a
money.
lot of money, right? But, oh yeah, that power staff's nice, but if you think about it, every 500 GP you get, that's 1/7 of a pro ring.
I don't think he's seen them. I think only Durrun has seen the pro rings so far.
Well, he hasn't, but he does have a katana now. And that's good money, too. Also, I don't think he realizes you can just land on those light green tiles. But yeah, Russian Bishop, if you're watching this VOD back, you can totally just land on those light green tiles right next to the hole.
Second katana with tail, no ninja. Feels bad, man.
Oh, Space Rig, if you're asking about Durrun's timer, he just never started it.
He's doing a dry run.
Yeah. Now, I think I there were a couple of complications in getting this race going. So I think he just, in the haste of getting started, just didn't actually start his timer. But Russian Bishop heading back to buy that delicious life too, and
Will
probably
he
pick up
see the
wall
pro
he's at.
rings? Will he see the pro rings?
I mean, I imagine he's going to check the armor shop.
This is the suspense right now. Will he walk north in Melmond and find pro rings?
I mean, the real question is he going to spend all of his money before he gets to the armor shop? Signs right now point to maybe.
Oh, he's going north. We've got an inn. No, he leaves.
Oh, that's a bad miss.
Yeah, he's going to be stuck with amateur rings for a while still.
He's at least he's at least got a good shot of finding at least one or two of those while, wandering around. Katanas are almost max value. Okay. So, money, not a problem.
Yeah, suddenly you have no issues. Why come to this shop? Wasn't he in Melmond?
I don't know.
Gold bracelets are nice.
Yeah, that might be why he came back here, is he wanted the gold bracelets. Because that's, the second best armor for over half your party.
Absolutely. Can't really complain about gold bracelets, but wouldn't it be even nicer with pro rings?
It would be abundantly nice with pro rings, but, I mean, this is why you poke your head into every shop until you find the vendor item and you find the pro ring seller.
I'm kind of enjoying that we have not seen the vendor item yet.
Yeah.
It might be vanilla.
Well, at this point, Russian Bishop is pretty much going to find it soon enough, because he has access to all the locations it can still be.
Yep, 3 left to check, no, 3 left to check total.
Yeah. Onrak, Oasis, and Guy.
Yep, that's all that's left. So now the question is, will Durrun beat him to it?
Well, Durrun's going to the Oasis now, so...
The max cost slab.
You love to see it.
It's a good thing they both got 2 katanas. And I mean, while we've been talking about all of it, Durrun has caught up. Took that tail and went and found some goodies and
yeah.
Basically, the time that Bishop took diving the top floor of Volcano has made up for the wipes that Durrun had early on. So we have a pretty close race here.
Oh, absolutely. And Durrun has a bit more of an information lead than Russian Bishop. He's seen those cheap pro rings. He knows where the vendor item is. He's poked his head into, I think, a couple of magic shops Russian Bishop didn't. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're pretty even right now.
Opting to land north of the river instead of south of it, that's a few more steps that he didn't need to take, but...
It's a little unusual. Taking a stop by Onrak before heading to the waterfall, assumedly.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like he can do anything else in Onrak. We have yet to see the Oxyale. So, actually, let's take stock of that real quick. As far as incentive locations go, we still have the waterfall, we still have Castle Ordeals, we still have Ice Cave, and we still have the Floating Fortress location.
Did you not want to say the word sky because you're worried about getting the chat to start memeing?
I mean, I always worry about the chat memeing. Also, at some point, Speed Gaming decided to drop 63 people on us in a raid. Thanks so much. I hope that wasn't, 5 minutes ago, and I just now am noticing.
No, it was recent, and again, we really appreciate the full Speed Gaming Network for having this stream tonight. It's really fun to cast some Final Fantasy random. I'll be honest.
Oh, it's always fun. But yeah, now the reason I didn't say Sky is because, like, I tend to use Sky to refer to the entire dungeon, both Mirage Tower and Floating Fortress, and then I use Mirage Tower and Floating Fortress to refer to the two halves.
Ah, okay.
So it's one of those things I try to be specific when talking about, like, the chest in Floating Fortress, because if I say the chest in Sky, that basically doubles the number of things I could be talking about.
This to me is acceptable nomenclature.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Nightmares with stun touch and a billion evasion and high health.
Well,
Durrun
I
is
mean,
realizing, okay, it's time to blow some nukes here.
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, they're nightmares. Have you ever met a nightmare that didn't have yes in the evasion slot?
Sure, but this one it felt a little higher than normal.
Okay, so you can tell the difference between a bajillion and infinity, is what you're telling me.
Indeed. In NES terms, I mean, these are just, 16 by 16.
Or as we like to call that in Fancy Town, 256.
We're cursed with a hex.
Okay, I'll give you that one. That was good.
So Durrun completing a Durrun through the waterfall, trying to find what the robot is holding today.
Yeah,
Maybe the stash has something loose.
That's what I was getting back to. So right now, we have 3 incentive locations left that are accessible without the chime. And we still need the Oxyale, the Rod, the Key, obviously the Chime and the Cube. So it's just this side of possible. Oh yeah, we still have two equipment items available.
Yeah.
So it's just this side of possible that we could wind up in a situation where these runners have to hunt down a loose Chime and or Cube.
Yeah.
In order to get to that incentive spot.
It's looking interesting. I'd like to see the Key soon, just to amp things up a little bit.
I'd like to see the Oxyale. Like, I would like to see Oxyale, Rod, and Key. Just so that they're stuck in this position of going, I have to scour almost every dungeon in the game now to find my progression into the Sky Palace. This is because I'm a terrible person. This is the beginning and the end of that thought.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just happy to keep monopolizing the time here. Anytime someone lets me speak, I'm going to take advantage.
Then why do you keep getting paired up with me?
Well, because you let me speak so often. You're very nice to me, Wout. I really appreciate you.
That's just because I give everyone room to speak. People get enough of getting to hear me talk nonstop for 2 hours under normal conditions.
So this Gasty is a little bit thick and hitting a little bit hard.
Durrun is resorting to fast and lock 2 strats, which, you know what? I don't hate.
It worked. He got past it, but it feels bad, man.
Yeah, he has got to patch that Black Mage up, though, because, yeah, he doesn't want to walk out of this dungeon.
No. If that Black Mage goes down, this feels like a reset to me. Because that's ugly. Oh no, what a nightmare. Oh, and Keep saves the party.
Yeah. I mean, Stupid's butt wasn't going to get in gear.
Yeah. Stupid
right.
tried and couldn't make it.
Durrun is in this last stretch of waterfall.
Quad Ghost ambush.
Oh! Oh,
No.
with stun touch!
As if they even
Oh!
needed it when they're hitting for 250.
Well, I mean, that's what you expect with ghosts, but the stun touch, that's just rude.
Gosh. You really hate
That's...
stun touch, don't you?
Okay, here's the thing about stun touch versus everything else in the game. Death touch, yeah, fine. Death touch kills you outright. Stone touch, yeah, alright, it forces you to have a soft or to go find softs or whatever. Stun touch gives you that glimmer of hope that you can get away, or that you can get out of the fight and keep going. Stun touch is the meanest of all the touch attacks outside of mute touch, which doesn't exist unless you randomize touch attacks instead of shuffling them.
Mute touch is funny though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same principle. It's the idea of, like, you know, when you're fighting a pack of enemies with death touch or stone touch, they kill you quickly. When you're fighting enemies with stun touch, they can drag it out for ages, and there is nothing you can do to stop them.
It's like the ghasts in vanilla.
Exactly.
They're just no fun if you're playing casual.
Yeah.
If you're playing for speed, you can rotate them out. You can get them out of your cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just manipulate them away like Fred and Nescard have been doing.
I really need to actually watch the full Manip FFR run at some point. Or FF1 run at some point.
Under 2.5 hours. It's nuts.
I can absolutely believe it. When people ask me, what is it about speedrunning that makes you that you know appeals to you so much? My go-to for the last 2 years has been Nescard's Dragon Warrior 1 Manip run at GDQ.
Yeah.
You know, the one where the man spent half an hour being a TAS.
Command?
Yeah, basically. So yeah. For those of you who are wondering, well, wait, why can't you do the same thing here? One of the things that's almost always randomized in FFR is literally the RNG table.
Yeah. Luckily, this game lets us do a lot of things. It's actually pretty friendly for randomization.
Oh yeah.
It's easier to randomize things than it is in, for instance, like a Zelda game. It's amazing how many options there are.
Yeah. The flip side to that is, I guess it is friendly for randomization. I don't know if I'd characterize it as friendly for playing the randomization.
I don't know. I like it. I feel like something could ambush me at any point. It's like playing a thriller.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing about Final Fantasy 1. Even if we did absolutely nothing to randomize the enemies, it would still be terrifying to play.
Yeah. It's a great game.
We could leave the enemies completely vanilla and just randomize the treasure in the RNG tables, and it would sting. And then we go and shuffle the enemies anyway because we don't like ourselves.
Yeah, it's a swingy game and it's fun.
Oh yeah. No,
is this tile really Mad Ponies? Did I miss this tile being Mad Ponies?
Well, this is the first time we've seen an Agama tile. But yeah, this is the B-side of the Mad Pony encounter.
Yeah. Well, this is not a very interesting B-side.
Yeah, no, B-side doesn't mean hard. B-side just means it's not the A-side. And
no, I was thinking more like music. This is like a really bad B-side on a single.
I mean, you gotta. Someone out there likes that song. There's someone out there that likes the Mad Pony fight. And I mean, I don't complain about the Mad Pony fight when it lets me, not have to struggle through a forced spike tile. Like, Mad Ponies on the Blue Dragon encounter tile, just inject that straight into my veins, fam.
I mean, it's wonderful as a player, just not so sure about it as a viewer or a commentator. I want to see something spicier than that. Especially when this volcano dive is kind of a risky play. It would be nice to see some risk involved.
See, I like the Mad Pony tile because it gives me a chance to make the observation that, B-side doesn't mean hard. B-side just means it shares a bite with the A-sides.
Yeah. It's certainly...
Gators have trance.
Trance Dance Revolution! We've got 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Is Vivi gonna do it? Is Vivi gonna do it? Can't run.
Well, I mean, that's the best person in the party to try and make the run. And he lets us down.
No. Vivi, what are you doing? Oh, zap. 2 out of 4. Not skaters, though.
I mean, that's fine. They're not going to trance again. They're just going to slowly murder the party. While they can't do anything about it.
That seems fair. Alright. Considering options. Alright. Torhammer makes sense here.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't bust out the first time, but it may... Yeah, I feel like that was a... I don't know how much health these things have.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh. Okay, remember what I...
Cremate? Trance into cremate? Really?
Was that the second or the third trance we saw?
I think it was 3. It was trance into cremate.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is this is probably... Okay,
well,
so the good news is...
Yeah, he has just enough to get to...
I was gonna say, if he runs through a couple of the quote-unquote free floors, he should be fine.
Oh no, run! Oh no.
Yeah, that was one of the quote-unquote free floors he should have not warped on.
Yeah, that was one of the ones to run on.
Yeah.
Now it's a little scarier for Vivi here.
Well,
who's already in the wrong Final Fantasy.
I mean, I'm for one, I'm always in favor of having more Vivi and more Final Fantasies. Oh, Russian.
Vivi's about to be a hat.
Stay on the lava. Don't not run in the lava.
This is when you play the floor is not lava.
So, okay, for those of you who aren't familiar with Final Fantasy I, the lava obviously does damage to you. But the lava also has a side benefit of you don't get into encounters while running on lava. So that's what Shift and I are going on about is, Russian Bishop could have basically just strolled out of here
and Vivi makes it away from 2 Sphinxes Frost.
By running on the lava tiles, and just the lava tiles on a couple of floors, and just not getting into any encounters.
Oh, do these gargoyles do anything? They're punchy and no touches. And Vivi makes it away, and Bishop is out of the volcano, getting to save all those goodies.
So, anyway, I think the thing I've enjoyed the most about the spring tournament is how many heroic Black Mage runs we've seen.
Oh, yeah, we've seen a Black Mage solo Kraken.
Yeah, and I think we saw one solo Tiamat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we've seen a Black Mage solo Kraken. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things we've seen a lot of situations where it's just been like, and now the flimsiest party member by a country mile must save the day.
Yeah. There's been a lot of white shirts and defense swords really, really pulling some value.
don't forget the Bane Sword.
There was one with a Bane sword?
Yeah, the black mage that made it through Kraken, I believe that's how he got it, was either a Bane Sword or first turn Brack.
No, there was a black mage that made it through Kraken missing 4 Bracks. Like, maxed evasion, missed 4 Bracks, and still won. With, fire with something dumb. It was like a fire 3 to finish it.
Okay, I think that there must have been 3 heroic black mages at least now, because I don't think I saw that one. But either way, the important thing is yeah.
I'm surprised not to see the TNT turn in here. I mean, particularly far away. At least it's half the world away.
Yeah, I think Russian wants to put this dungeon out of his mind forever, and I don't blame him. And yeah, it's one of those things. It's not like the only thing that TNT could have. He could possibly he is continuing to run on not lava.
This is not when you want to play the floor as lava. You need to play the opposite game.
Yeah, we're gonna need to have a talk with him, the seed, about... No. You always want to be on fire if you have the option.
Yes.
Because the thing to keep in mind about lava is, yes, it does 1 HP of damage per step. But when you take into account how much damage an encounter can deal, you are generally conserving your healing by running on the lava. And it is the stupidest thing about this game, but there you have it.
Also one of the most important. And I do have to take a moment to do a little musical interlude here and say, that girl is on fire!
So remember how I said you needed to dial it back a couple of notches?
I did it, right?
No, you didn't. At all.
Oh.
That was the opposite of taking it. I think you actually were louder that time, Shift.
Chat, please accept my apologies. Thank you, Speed Gaming viewers. I'll try not to destroy your headphones the next time. I promise I leaned back, Woat. I really did.
Yeah, you got louder to compensate for it. If I'm any judge, don't encourage him, chat. Encouraging him is how he keeps doing it. No, I'm not disputing that Shift that Shift is on key. I'm disputing the part where I like not bleeding out of my ears.
Gosh, what are you, a white mage? Why are you trying to fade me?
I mean, it's not like I'm losing my temper.
Well, I can see what you did there.
I mean, it wasn't like I went very fast.
Gosh, and carry goes down. I guess this Rosa has thorns.
No, Vivi has the Thor.
No, Thorn with an N. You gotta get your hearing checked, man.
Well, I would have gotten my hearing checked, but someone blew out my eardrums.
Oh yeah, I gave you tinnitus, my bad.
In any case,
Oh no, I'm getting requests in chat. I apologize, Jasper. I can't do Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That is reserved for Dragon Warrior randomizers. This is Final Fantasy, so it's gonna have to be a different... But, you know, someday you'll see me on a Dragon Warrior randomizer. I'll definitely be singing it.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it'll hurt.
Okay, I'm trying to understand... Oh, wait. This does make sense to do rainbow songs, because we do have both players on the Fighter Rainbow Party.
We do.
So, in a manner of speaking, when they did their promotions, they got Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
I
Meanwhile, we're very close to seeing what our ice has today.
I'm gonna laugh if it's like the adamant.
That would be pretty funny.
But first we have to actually survive this encounter.
Kane? Can you do it? Oh! The reset! The reset was too soon. Just kidding, there was no more warp.
Yeah, that was a situation where we're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah,
Not
it's like,
today.
I'm capable of winning this fight, but this does not matter anymore.
I am capable of winning this fight, but I do not believe I can win the war. Durrun
Or in this case.
making a play into Earth Cave.
Yeah. Totally different routes going on here. We have one completing Volcano and another taking the Earth Dive. But we don't have a rod, right?
Yeah. No, we don't. This is purely a, I suspect there's a loose item down here play.
Yeah. But we've seen one. But, oh, Durrun hasn't seen any. Durrun hasn't seen that TNT.
No, he hasn't, but it's one of those things like, I have to assume he feels behind, and so this may be a play to kind of close the gap up. Also, Asps also have Stone Touch.
Your favorite touch. That's a bad touch.
Yeah, they've got the touch. They've got the power.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. We're like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it now.
I don't think that was in the Transformers animated movie.
I don't think so either, but that song is called Bad Touch.
No one ever calls it that.
Mm.
No,
I know
no
things,
one.
I'm sorry.
No one ever calls it that. I'm sure that it matters for legal purposes, but no one calls it bad touch.
It worked. I needed a reason to sing. I apologize.
No, you don't! Stop apologizing for things you're not sorry about!
Okay, you're right.
It just ruins chat's ability to trust us.
Wait, chat was trying to trust us?
I'm
the wrong person. I'm clearly the wrong person. That's an interesting room that Durrun found. Heal helmet and a pro cape.
Yeah, we take those.
Yeah.
That heal helmet's definitely an upgrade on the iron helmet if he swaps it over.
It is. I was thinking, isn't Silver Gauntlet equipable on the Red Wizard at some point?
Yeah, it is. I believe, like most of the silver stuff... Hey! Hi, Ribbon! Good to see you. And that is a chime, so... There is value in Ice Cave, and Russian Bishop is gonna, it looks like, go ahead and dig for more value.
Yeah, because why not? But as you can see, we need to get that Silver Gauntlet over to the Red Mage here.
Yeah. Now, I believe it's... I think it's like half the silver stuff you can slap onto a Red Mage, and the rest of it you have to wait for Red Wizard to be able to throw on. So...
I don't know why Red and Silver would go together. I don't even think there's a sports team that's Red and Silver.
I mean, it makes sense when you remember that Red Mages are basically just bards.
Ah, okay. So they want the flashy colors.
Well, that and, like, you know, they're not quite fighters, but they're not quite clerics, but they're not quite mages, but they're not quite thieves.
And Durrun getting blazed by Arachnid yet again.
Not arachnids, arachnid. It was literally just one arachnid that did it.
Yeah, I guess that's technically accurate. Araccurate?
Arachnurit.
I know I wouldn't want to be near it right now. Ambush whiz enemies with stuff. Your favorite status effect is back.
I mean, all I can say is that this seed has just been stunning.
It truly has. In multiple ways. Because it's also been beautiful to watch. We're 120 in, and there is an orblet total among the two runners.
Yeah, this is an event.
It is. But every time you and I cast an event, we need to make that happen. It was pretty eventful the last time, and it's been pretty eventful this time.
Yeah, so Durrun realizing that his red mage has not gained enough experience yet to be able to cast level 5 magic, so with that white mage down, there is no bringing him back up.
Yeah. This is the run. This is it.
Unfortunately, he hasn't really found much outside of that pro cape and heel helm that's worth writing home about. So, it's just a matter of checking 3 more boxes and then casting exit. Of which he has plenty of charges.
At least that's covered. Although every time he casts a fade, that's 1 fewer charge of exit waiting.
Well, he also could just warp out, and there's our other loose item. Hi, Crystal.
Don't call me that, it's Shift.
Hi, Shiftstal.
Shiftstall. That sounds like a disease or something. I guess that's why you take it to Matoya. I mean, she knows what she's doing.
Pretty much. But yeah, so... Russian checking these last 3 boxes, and he'll probably just use exit to save himself the steps.
Might as well. Alright, that was a pretty exciting ice.
So now he gets to go turn in all those loose fetch quest items.
Absolutely. Wrong way. Oh.
No, he's going to Matoya.
Okay.
Well, I guess because...
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, he might not have picked up his his white magic on his knight yet.
Right. Fade, exit, ruse. Life is good.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, but life is... He doesn't actually get life, but, you know, life is good. Figuratively, not literally.
It can be both. But yeah, Durrun just needs this black mage to survive this fight, which is incredibly likely.
Well, the key isn't... I mean, the key is necessary, but it's... You know, it's not anything that's gonna troll them right now, because all the loot items are gone.
Yeah. He doesn't need the key for progression purposes, but he will probably still dig out the wealth of the Inner Sea in pursuit of... Because I think he's swinging an ice sword on that knight, and I think that's the best weapon he's actually found.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, so he's probably still going to do all these key checks, because there might be something in here worth that you can take to the end game. You know, the ice sword's not bad. It's just not necessarily what you're going to want if any of the fiends roll high.
What are these chimeras? They're so annoying.
I believe that these chimeras are an amalgamation of several different animals fused together into one monstrous form.
I sort of meant that figuratively, because they Chimeras are always kind of thick, but these ones were thicker than normal.
Oh yeah, no, like they did not die like punks, as one is used to seeing.
Hey, Bane Sword. Is that better than an Ice Sword? I don't remember. I don't think so.
Damage-wise, I think Ice Sword beats it, like if you're swinging it.
Yeah.
But that Bane Sword is going to be real nice in general.
Interesting to see the Thor hammer being moved over.
Yeah, I think this is a situation where Russians just like, I don't have enough firepower to not at least be trying to hit things.
I don't know. I mean, the number of Fade charges continues to go up. Interesting to take more of these chimeras.
I mean, it looked like he could kill them in one round of like firepower. So like if you know you're going to go out, like you can safely walk out to the airship and fly somewhere. I don't hate the play.
They are just punchy with poison touch. It's not that bad, it's just kind of time consuming in terms of menuing.
Yeah.
Or you could ignore the poison. But then you have to listen to it going.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pures on him, so it makes sense that he would just be like, I don't need to worry about the poison too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine that what we're gonna see is he'll drain his spells into these chimeras and then move on. Either heal up with a house, because I think he does have one, or swing by like Canaria to save at the inn and then head on to continue the key checks.
Oof. Okay, down goes Red Mage. Goodbye, Edge.
Well, fortunately, these chimeras shouldn't have much more in the tank.
Yeah. Even at their thick health, they're not that bad yet.
Yeah. So.
Because all they're doing is punching hard.
Yeah.
Alright, so this will probably be the last group of chimeras he goes for.
Yeah. And it does look like it is level 15 you get your first charge on that night, because he definitely hit level 17 in here and has spell charges on his knight now.
Yeah. Bane Sword. I did not see him use the Bane Sword. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't want to use the last Fade either. It kind of speaks to maybe wanting to take one or two more of these.
That, or he just remembered that he actually has a Fade shot on the knight as well, so.
Maybe just scared of the White Mage going down at this point.
Yeah.
Gosh, these have so much health.
So much. Yeah, I think they've got to be rocking like 550 in terms of HP.
Yeah. Those things are thick. That was a fairly good grind, though.
Yeah, no, he got from, I think, level 15 or 16 to level 19.
Exactly.
So, that's going to be enough to get him, Alright. So he has 11 houses, so he's good there. So we are going to go on to the Dwarf Cave and then probably hit Canaria's Treasury, Temple of Fiends Revisited, end up at the Elfland Armory, and then head out from there.
Oh, hello, Cheerios.
You want that.
You want that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the right call. You go ahead and hang it on that White Mage with the ribbon so that he can actually, like, take a punch.
She's your life 2 caster.
Lifeline. Yeah.
Exactly. You probably want that Opal bracelet.
I think he's already got an Opal Gauntlet. Yeah.
Opal Gauntlet is what I meant, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Time to see what Bishop is doing next.
Like I said, I imagine that this is going to turn into checking at least Canary and Elfland castles.
Yeah, because
But apparently I'm just imagining it.
Did he forget he doesn't have an Oxyale?
It's not out of the question. Alright, he's going to go do castle ordeals. I don't hate it. He's got plenty of warp shots on that black mage now.
Yeah, definitely a good way to make your way through the pillar maze.
Yeah.
It's always challenging to see people dive this early and just get pilloried.
I mean, that one doesn't even really work. Like, you can dive ordeals at, like, level 6 if you have the right gear and spells available.
Sure, but one of those typically needs to be warp. Or you're gonna be there a while. Bishop is one of us. He hates that sound. Taking the extra menu just to get rid of the...
Yeah, yeah.
Is it better or worse than my singing, though?
Oh, far worse.
Okay. That's a kind compliment, thank you.
Like I said, your singing's fine, it's just you sometimes put a little too much English on it. You project very well, and as someone who projects very well, I sympathize.
Yeah, I'm not used to casting yet. It's still a new project for me.
Well, you'll get there. In the meantime, speaking of getting there, Bishop, has started his descent into the pillar maze, and immediately finds the pillar that takes him back to the entrance. And a pillar that takes him back to the pillar.
Itself. That's unusual.
That happens. Goes ahead and checks the spike tile and the link chest.
Alright. Come on, far pillar.
Yeah, I was going to say, there aren't a lot of places left to take him.
Alright. Warp is saving us from that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that he was saving his warp charges for that.
Yeah. That was the place to warp.
Oh, yeah.
That and, not third floor of fire.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
But,
You mean squint squint, apparently.
Apparently. How does a worm squint?
I mean... I don't know. That does seem very challenging.
I mean, I think that just speaks to the impressiveness of the sandworms in general, that they, life found a way, is what I think I'm trying to get across here.
Maybe it squints its teeth.
I think that's just called grimacing.
No, that's what chat does when I sing.
I thought that's what they did when I made puns.
Isn't it all of the above?
Maybe.
Okay. See, this is why I never pick red mages. Because I have no idea what gear they can equip. No clue.
So, the general rule with red mages are, if a fighter can equip it, and it's a sword, then a red mage can equip it. With the exception of the Excalibur. When it comes to armor,
More fetch quest.
Yeah, if it's plausibly lightweight, a red mage can equip it. And if it's mage equipable, a red mage can equip it. Like I said, the easiest way to think of it is a red mage is basically just a bard. And so the equipment restrictions make sense when you think of them in the same way as a bard.
So Durrun is catching up on the ice play. Bit of a slideshow, but definitely getting there.
Yeah. He does need to actually go clear out Ice Cave, though. Like, he needs to not exit here. Like, he looks like he's... Oh, no.
Oh, that's a loose play. That is a loose play.
Yeah, that may... That's not gonna be good, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause it's TNT! It's dynamite!
No, it's the crystal. The TNT was in,
Oh, you're right. TNT was Volcano.
Yeah.
Which he also hasn't found yet.
Yeah. It's, he's not in a great position at the moment, and he is going to go do Mirage. Like, from a density perspective, this is the right move. It's just, in this situation, it's going to... It's gonna cause him some difficulties.
Yeah. Caster Vision has blessed us to know that this is not gonna do it.
Is it really a blessing? I feel like we're generally just cursed with this knowledge.
I don't know. I kind of like knowing everything.
Oh, yeah, but we have to sit here and realize that what mistakes are being made.
So, that's okay. It's unfortunate that it's happening. So, Bishop is still checking absolutely everything to try and find Rod and Oxyale.
So, let's see.
Where do you
We
think
have the
it's gonna
bottle.
be?
Well, we still have the bottle and the Lefane check-ins to go. One of those is probably going to give us the adamant.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of running out of places. This is looking like a full clear.
Oh, we haven't seen Sky yet, so... Either Lefane or Fairy is going to lead to the cube. Sky is going to hand over probably the power bonk, and the rest of our progression is going to be behind the adamant, whichever one doesn't give us the cube. That's my guess.
Very reasonable. That probably would lead to a...
Yeah, no, I was having a brain fart of just like, wait, there are 3 incentive items left. Or 3 endpoints of incentive items left. Why can I only think of 2 locations? Right, there's a dungeon that we have to go get a thing from.
Yeah. I'm liking it. This is, spicy.
So, if Russia wants to go ahead and do this, he'll have no trouble, I think, at this point, diving down to the bottom of sea and killing Kraken. I doubt he goes over to Mermaid's side.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to at this point. I mean, we have pseudo ribbon on the fighter. We don't have a real ribbon, but you know, Dragon Armor Aegis Shield is pretty good.
Yeah. So it's one of those things like, yeah, we'll have to see what he does, but like, I think this is a situation where you say, I don't care if Mermaids has the Excalibur, the Maza, and the Vorpal. I am just going to skip out on this and open more boxes in Sky or something. You know, try to find that Sun Sword somewhere.
Exactly. Just some sort of weapon.
Yeah, speaking of opening boxes in Sky, by the way, Durrun actually going to greater than less than room.
Interesting. Let's see if the math works out for him today.
Yeah. Well, I figure that once he finds no loose items here, he'll put 2 and 2 together.
Let's hope so. And let's hope that it is 4.
Well, I won't go any further into it. I don't want to divide chat.
Excalibur is fun. That's a weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that Bishop is going to have problems with anything that's dived at this point, because all of the gear was in ordeals today.
Except the Excalibur and that defense sword.
And of course, defense sword, not quite as important as seed when you have level 1 crews available for the knight.
Yeah, but it's still nice to... And there's the Maza! Okay, so anyway, apparently greater than less than room had all of the value today.
It was greater than normal, that's for sure.
Yep.
You can barely even say it was less than ideal. It was really good.
Oh yeah, no, like, Durrun now has, pretty much in-game equipment. I think he still needs... Yeah, once he goes to Ordeals, and picks up that Aegis and that Dragon Armor, he's pretty much set at that point.
It is amazing how much equipment is available in places that you kind of want to check anyway, Seed.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Wote Special giveth and the Wote Special taketh away.
Well, what it has given them is the kind of gear that you would equip if you were playing a casual run-through.
Yeah. Yeah, the trade-off is, your spell selection requires you to know how to use it.
Wait, you have to understand?
Yep.
Use your spell?
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it, though.
Ah, the, Twilight Cosplay Club.
Yeah. It's the Room of Horrors. Maybe it's a little shop of horrors?
Nah, we don't have any Ochos in this fight.
Okay. That's fair. Wow, that's a lot of vampires.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the collective noun for a group of vampires?
Oh. I feel like I should know this.
I don't think there is one. But, like, maybe a coven of vampires?
No, I know this. Why am I forgetting? I've watched all of Supernatural. I should know. I just admitted that on stream.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Tricked me.
To cut off the observation chat, in at least Eastern European lore, vampires and witches are often interchangeable. The acceptance of sorceress powers from the devil is often considered a prerequisite to become a vampire, and by that same token, a vampire can maintain their powers through the practice of witchcraft. So a coven could theoretically be appropriate to a group of vampires.
Did you just actually on chat?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Pretty impressive there, Wote. Isn't it just called a pack of vampires?
It could just be a pack of vampires. I would also accept a murder of vampires, just because I think murder is the most hilarious thing to call a group of anything.
And they can turn into black birds.
Yeah, depending.
You could have a brood of vampires. That's what I was thinking of.
It's extra funny because vampires tend to be very emo. Um, let's see. Russian Bishop not realizing that fast does not stack. Once you've doubled up, you cannot double up again because you would very quickly break the things.
Wait, break the things?
Yeah,
Isn't that what you're supposed to do to Kraken? He was just there.
Well, yeah, but Kraken's not a thing.
Wait, is Kraken gendered?
That is a point of debate. We know that Tiamat is female because Tiamat is the mother of monsters in Mesopotamian mythology.
Yes.
We know that Carrie is female because, I mean, look at her. Lich and Kraken are often a matter of perspective. Some people think of Lich as female, some people think of Kraken as female, some people think of Lich as male, some people think of Kraken as male, and some people think that squids and undead don't really care about gender anymore.
Yeah, I always thought of Lich as a dude and Kraken as non-gendered. But, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
How do Liches reproduce?
Through dark sorcery.
Yeah, that definitely seems more like a dude thing.
I mean, on the bright side, that's Red Wizard Learnable Nuke at level 7.
I don't know if that's a bright side. That's not exactly a lot of charge.
I mean, okay, if Temple of Fiends turns into a thing, you'll be very glad that you at least have an extra shot of nuke or two.
I guess so. The more wipe charges, the better.
But, what were we babbling about beforehand while the runners are moving into position?
Well, we did get to see Bishop take down Kraken. That was where the whole conversation started.
Right, the gendering of fiends. Now, liches are created by a wizard undergoing, basically a ritual to turn himself into a powerful undead. So, yeah. Now, I would argue that that lich probably is most likely to be asexual, or not asexual, agender, just because the kind of wizard who undergoes the rituals needed to become a lich is also not the kind of person that probably has cared about their gender in many a year.
So maybe they just retain the gender cat.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, no, like a lich would retain its psychology. That's the whole point of becoming a lich, is you maintain your mind, you just, become a skeleton.
And we finally have a cube.
Yep.
So ooh, Bishop heading to Lefane first.
Yeah, no, this play makes sense, because you're either going to get the power bonk, in which case you know that you're going to find vanilla adamant that's going to give you your rod. Or you're going to get the adamant and have to chase that down real quick before you go into Sky. Or you're going to get or you're going to go ahead and get the rod, and then you'll know that the adamant leads to the power bonk.
And then you'll not care about anything. And we have Durrun not walking on lava as well. I wonder if Durrun maybe is doing this on purpose. Might actually want to grind some of these fights.
At the level he's at, these fights are not worth the trouble. And with the gear he has, especially. Now, I mean, okay, it's one of those things, like, your instinct as a player, from casual days is, lava bad, lava hurt, no walk on lava. Alright, so Adamant is in... What was that?
We have a go mode.
Yep. Adamant is in its vanilla location and will yield the power bonk. We do have readily accessible fast and temper available, so there is not necessarily an impetus for Russian Bishop to go collect the power gauntlet. what I could see him doing is making the quick side jog to grab the adamant, and if Temple of Fiends Revisited turns out to be a problem, then he can use that, then he can quickly cash in the adamant and have that power bonk available.
It's a possibility.
It's an option.
I'd probably skip it, but it's there as an option.
It's one of those things. If it were the Thor hammer or the Opal bracelet, yeah, sure. But at this point, Russian knows that it's the power. It has to be the power bonk if he's been keeping track of his items. So, like, that's the one incentive equipment item that is just like, if I know where it is, I want it. Because even if I don't use it, it's an insurance policy that can save more time than I lose.
XRB using a nuke chart because he remembers Trance Dance Gators.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things he's going to house up before he goes into Mirage anyway.
That is true.
So, no harm,
That's
no
still,
foul.
That's still a fair bit of menuing.
It is, but at a certain point, you just accept that you're going to have to do some menuing.
You can't optimize everything. Because at some point, the RNG gets you, and suddenly, optimal choice has turned into a very suboptimal choice.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing XRB checking chests, which means greater than, less than, probably coming fairly soon into some serious weapons.
Oh yeah, we can only hope that he goes up to greater than, less than, because that will square him away in terms of safeties.
Yeah, if he's still checking randoms, that's probably.
Yeah. It makes sense that he'd still be opening boxes. Like, through to this point, he's got one ribbon, and his best weapon is an ice sword.
So speaking of the one ribbon, how level 1 to 10 or something, how comfortable do you feel on one ribbon with this seed, or with the other things you've found?
Probably a 7.
Yeah. I'm right up there as well.
Yeah,
I think it's not too bad.
Yeah, and especially if I do know about the pro rings in Melmond, because at that point it's just like, alright, I've got a knight who's protected against most of the bad things. A-Rub was available to my white mage, and I think my red mage as well. So that's... If I get into a situation, I can always throw A-Rub up, and that'll protect me from everything but time at that point on the fighter.
Yeah.
Alright,
Also,
Durrun finally finding his TNT.
Yes. Whew. Finally.
But also, you were saying?
So I was gonna say, did you notice that you rolled this crazy seed, and yet, despite the crazy seed that you rolled, there's still a vanilla adamant that turns into a weapon? Well, not exactly a weapon, but a piece of equipment.
I mean... what's the old saying? The trolliest place a randomizer can place something is its vanilla location?
Yeah, pretty much. Because that is a bit nuts. It's interesting to see XRB doing equipment moving, not realizing that the Masa is about to follow that Excalibur.
I mean, it's one of those things, it's the correct move to go ahead and get that Excal mounted on the fighter. It's just immediately going to get complicated.
Yeah. I think I would just have Masa on the fighter, to be honest.
I mean, min-maxing the fighter's damage output is a valid play, especially when you're already level 23.
Yeah.
But that Excal is going to do work until basically Skyfloor and Topher. So I can't blame him for going, you know what? that fighter's going to do more than enough damage. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Maz on the red mage so that I have a secondary melee.
Yeah, in theory it's an option. I mean, you just have so many spell charges to use. But at the same time, you're running a party that's not good at running. So...
So, our tracker, Danny3883, shout-outs to her, by the way. She's been doing fantastically. Apparently did have a seed similar to this, where Advent was in Sky, led to the bonk. She went ahead and picked it up, and it turned out that she absolutely needed that power bonk in Topher.
Sometimes Topher is not friendly.
Sometimes. There's a reason that Topher is called the Great Equalizer. And Bishop is going to run straight past that adamant, so... He is apparently comfortable with having Fast and Temper available on 2 mages.
Apparently that is enough.
Yeah.
And having the second melee immediately 24 characters.
Yeah. So,
still looking for a ribbon, it looks like. Can't hold ribbon, hey.
Yeah. Alright. Now he's good.
This has to be the last chest, right?
He'll open the chest to the right because he's here. He's already made the steps to get it.
66 gold.
Yeah. I don't disagree with the ribbon placement either. That red mage is your secondary life caster.
I agree completely.
Just after the 1 hour 55 minute mark, Durrun has lit his first orb. As Russian Bishop is moving in on his third. So...
Misery you have put these gentlemen through.
Look, like I said before, I didn't earn my reputation as a seed roller by half measures.
No, clearly not. Both loose being necessary fetch item. Both loose being necessary fetch quests in fairly dense locations. Yeah.
Anyway, here... Oh, hi, Unrunnable War Mech.
Haha. Let's see what this does to us. Can we get 3? Can we get 3 on the Bridge of Destiny, please?
I believe that is the record in the spring, in all spring tournaments, is a hilariously thick war mech. That was like 2 hits for 22 damage.
Yeah, that was not a lot. And the red mage getting buffed. The Maza holder.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with this play. Warmech just showing lit 2 so far.
And paper health.
No HP. Holy cow.
I have never seen a small... That was tiny.
Yeah. The downside is we now know that a couple of very good spells to see on, like, Chaos, or Kraken, are out of the equation. So...
Agreed. This means that Topher could be a little bit hard, because that Wormec is not frightening, and didn't have any frightening things, so...
Yeah,
shuffle
like,
those over.
Like, it's gotta feel weird for Russian Bishop being on the Bridge of Destiny and just thinking, man, I want to see another war mech.
It's almost worth farming.
I mean, you really can't manipulate the encounters here, and there's no telling where he is in the table. So,
Yeah.
I don't think it would necessarily be worth to actually try and farm war mech, but man, you kind of hope to see a second one.
Yeah, it's so close, because that is the... That was a paper-thin war mech.
Oh yeah, but that's
That
gonna
was
put
more
Russian.
like a peace mech.
Yeah, that's gonna put Russian in a really good position for advancing into whatchamacallit, Temple of
Revisiting.
Fiends. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I mean, he still has to go clear out Earth, but yeah, there's been some rudeness in terms of dungeon access, as well as just what monsters have. Pound Town.
Yeah.
Also, the magic hasn't been like world beating. So
They had Fade. They had Fade, and that was kind of it. Eventually, some Fire 3 charges came through. But what we have seen is a loose TNT in Volcano required, a loose crystal in Ice required. Neither one in particularly accessible places.
well, the TNT was in that top Agama chest.
Yes.
I guess when you're saying accessible, you mean like they were deep in those dungeons, respectively.
Yeah. They were not near the entrances at all.
Anyway, Tiamat's dead. Yeah,
So we
Russian.
have 3 out of 4.
Yeah, Russian looked like didn't even bother with Brack strats or anything. He just went straight for the, you know what? If I hack you into tiny pieces, you are no longer my problem strats.
Yep. There was hacking done, there was fading, some spellcasting. Yeah. You have everything.
Dealing with RN kilos, not something Russian's doing today. So, just goes to go light that Earth Orb, and he is golden.
I would say so. Ugh. Not even, and I mean, not even getting into your last orb dungeon until after 2 hours, and far ahead, because that whole volcano trek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, the TNT wasn't required. Was it?
Oh yeah, it led to the Opal Bracelet, you're right.
No, it was only the crystal that was required. And even that wasn't really progression, it was just required.
Yeah.
But that ruby at the sages, that was a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Sail halfway around the world to sail back the way you came. And that's the Final Fantasy one way.
And then do it again. 3 trips sailing. Did we see anything scary in Earth as arachnid?
Mostly the arachnids. Yeah.
I remember asps were annoying. They had stun touch.
Yeah. I don't think Russian Bishop's going to run into any issues getting through this Earth.
No. At this point, with this gear, it's just the speed bump dungeon that it is.
With these levels especially, because a lot of the stuff that would be a problem in Earth, you really only have MDef to defend against, but you have enough MDef at these levels.
Yeah, plenty.
So,
and I don't think we saw anything that was particularly iffy here. Did Wraiths have anything?
No, I think it's just ghouls that had something rude, but I don't remember what.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
So.
Ugh. So this is a pretty easy trek for Bishop. Meanwhile, Durrun, not as easy a trek through Sea Shrine.
Well, he should be fine. The only thing nasty we saw down here is the ghosts, and we didn't even see that in Sea Shrine. We saw that on a spike tile.
We did.
So, yeah. As long as he doesn't get into any fights with ghosts, he should be able to more or less just kind of waltz through here with the gear he's got. So, Both these runners, at least, in a good position in terms of being able to just kind of, you know, force their way through most of the rest of this.
I'm just a little worried about the same thing that you were saying for Bishop, except the opposite. Durrun kind of is lacking experience.
Also, he's going mermaid side.
Durrun going for a run?
I mean, I think this is a situation where he might just be like, I still don't have all the equipment I want, which we know most of the equipment left that he would want is in Ordeals, but he doesn't know that. So this may be a play like to find Dragon Armor or Aegis or another ribbon or something.
True. Ordeals, another fun place this seed. Considering it was required. A fetch quest.
Mm-hmm. And it had some nice surprises.
Yeah. It had the goods for that night.
Oh yeah. So far, Durrun finding a lot of, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Bupkis?
Yeah, that seems like the right word. Talking to some mermaids, though.
I mean, it's one of those things, you know, you're here, you might as well chat up the ladies. That's a sun sword, though.
It's something.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those things, you can strap that to your red mage, strap the Maza to your white mage or your black mage, have the X-Cal on your fighter, and, you know, you've got a pretty good selection of damage there.
Lich down in one round, but did roll up on health. Like, a fair bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, rolling up isn't going to necessarily help Lich 1 too much with this equipment.
Makes it a slightly higher speed bump.
There you go. That's the ticket.
Instead of being a speed bump, it's traffic calming.
I am not entirely sure what Russian Bishop's doing right now. Is he going back for nuke on the red mage or something? Or nope. Maybe going to level 8 magic? No?
Maybe he's realizing he hasn't seen where the
Pro rings are?
Rings are?
That's the only thing I can think of. Durrun does find a black shirt, though. That's going to be really nice for that black mage, because that also means he... No! Don't throw away the Zeus gauntlet! A, that's armor your red mage can wear, and B, more importantly, that's a free lit too.
But he needed to throw it away to keep that cap.
I got nothing.
Can't you read the names? It's keep it.
But yeah, I think you're right. Russian has realized he never saw the pro rings, and I think he is now going to, like, fish through every armor shop in the game until he finds them in Melmond, which he's probably going to check Melmond last. Let's be real.
That seems
It's
reasonable.
Melmond.
Who wants to go to Melmond?
No
It doesn't even have a church. Or a heart shop.
A clinic.
A non-denominational revival center.
A shrine of resurrection.
This has been the third different time we've had a several sentence discussion about nomenclature.
I mean, at this point, I've just accepted that it's just the way that things are going to work.
I think we might be a little too much two of a kind.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying, but I think we're just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a worrying trend. Here we go, checking another item shop. Still
Yep.
not Melman.
Well, he should be going to Melman next, because that's the next closest place. Well, actually, it's the last place he can look, because Anorak and Lefane don't have armor and weapon shops. very wisely resetting out to be able to take the shortcut, or not shortcut, but the shorter route from Crescent. As opposed to Elfland. So now he's going to buy pro rings for everyone.
It's like, I wanted these, and I found them. The first item he comes across that he could sell, pro ring.
Yeah.
For some reason, that just makes me so happy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a situation where he just, like, you know, he already had the pro ring on Rosa because, of course he did. You need to armor that white mage.
Yeah. She's the crux of the party right now.
Yeah, so in this situation, you dump the opal you dump the opal gauntlet, you dump all this other gear, you pro ring everyone.
Think so?
Well, no. Okay, here's the thing about the opal gauntlet. It has the exact same absorb as a pro ring, but with more of an evasion penalty. Like, there is no reason to keep an opal gauntlet over a pro ring at all.
I don't know why I thought it was higher. That's incredible.
Because it makes sense that, like, you know, everything else in the game that's opal is, you know, best in slot. Or close to, or at least tied for best in slot with something that makes sense to also be best in slot. And then you just have, you know, this hand armor everyone can equip that's just like, yeah, this is the best hand armor in the game.
And at 210, xRussianbishop using every single house in the inventory. Because now you can just hit up to go to heal potions like you could have anyway.
Well, it's one of those things. He did very wisely burn through his houses in such a way that he could make that move.
But I don't think it changes the menuing. I guess it could change the menu. Pure potions?
Yeah.
That was the part I found weird, is that you're still... The way that he was getting to heal potions before was just hitting up once. And now the way that he's getting heal potions is hitting up once. Yeah, all 4 orbs lit, and we have a runner in. The Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Mm-hmm. Going ahead and taking these fights because he must, because they're unrunnable, but fortunately that's a little extra XP for his party, which is very nice to see. That his mages are almost at the point where they can endure a nuke. Which is kind of where you want them to be in an ideal world.
The runnable imp spike tile. That's beautiful.
Hey, they saw you into this time loop, and they're gonna see you out of it.
That is probably my favorite. I can't remember the last time I saw that. So what are we thinking is going to be scary in these floors, Wout?
I mean, honestly, we haven't seen too terribly much that actually shows up in Temple of Fiends Revisited that is actively a problem. We know that Death Touch isn't here, because that's on normal sharks.
Exactly. Which was hilarious, because that did cause a wipe for Bishop.
Let's see. I think I don't think there are any more stun touches left in the game.
There aren't.
We haven't seen Stone Touch, so that could still have wound up on something in here.
It would have been interesting if we saw some unrunnable Gurmedusas or something.
Yeah, but no, I think at this point we've seen most of the enemies that we're going to bump into down here, and they didn't do anything nasty before they could be dealt with.
Alright, so Lich just straight up... Whoa!
Lich 2 rolled very low for HP today.
I mean, talk about a speed bump. It got one-shot by an unbuffed red mage.
An unbuffed red mage with the Maza. I will point out that he was using the Maza.
That's still, I mean, an unbuffed level 27 red wizard.
Yeah, red wizards are awesome.
That's not normally who you see as One Punch Man.
Well, yeah, that's because everyone underestimates how awesome red mages are.
That is the weirdest One Punch cosplay I've ever seen.
Well, okay, think of it like this. You know, Saitama's power came from losing all of his hair. A red mage, having a better understanding of the arcane forces that he weaves together in order to create his craft, retains all of his hair. It's just science shift.
Oh, it definitely sounds like a shift in science. I'll give you that much.
Anyway, Russian Bishop fighting Carry.
Yeah. See if it's going to carry the fight this time. 8
Carry.
hits for nothing.
Yeah, Carry hitting like a... I would say a wet noodle, but honestly, wet noodles generally put up more of a fight.
Yeah, that was a flea. And not the kind with disease. And then ink. The fun thing is that we could really scary things going on with Kraken and Tiamat and Chaos. We haven't seen any of the worst stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing some nukes or some nuclears, some scary stuff out of these the next couple of bosses.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm of two minds. On the one hand, I want to give the people a good show. I want to, show them how rude and nasty Temple of Fiends Revisited can be. On the other hand, all I've had to eat today was a bowl of oatmeal, and I would really like to go eat dinner. So, I'm personally pulling for a paper topher.
We already had a paper Warmac.
Yeah,
We've actually seen a lot of things roll really low.
Yeah, let's just make this the softest Temple of Fiends Revisited ever after a seed full of nonsense.
There were definitely some twists and turns. I love this very careful manipulation of the weapons to make sure that just in case we need the white wizard to hit something, Rosa is ready.
Never underestimate the power of Rosa packing some serious heat.
Oh man. Yeah, it looks like, it's interesting to see the fighter left in front for Kraken, but it looks like Kraken might not even be that scary. That was 6 hits for 308 on the White Wizard. We have a fighter who's tempered, ready to rock. Just, oof. We're going to have to see if this Kraken will fade away anytime soon. There we go. 7 hits, 355, terminated. Alright, that is one more floor. Down we go. Down we go. Okay, now we're headed down to Tiamat. What is she going to have for us today? We have the knight getting buffed a little bit. We've got a couple of fades going down. We've got a fast and a temper headed on the knight, and 5 hits, 14. Tiamat is bigger than Kraken.
Yeah, that's not death touch. That's just hitting like a big beefy girl.
Yeah, that was just Tiamat touch. It was death because it was death, but then the paper HP.
Alright. Come on, Russian Bishop. I know I did a lot of terrible things to you, but I am also hungry.
Yeah. Wow, this has been a very friendly token.
Yeah. While we have a moment, though, I will just let y'all know there will not be an interview after this. We are going to be going straight into a Link to the Past randomizer race, assuming Russian can finish up here. So, stick around for that if you want. Otherwise, there is a ridiculous amount of Final Fantasy randomizer happening all over the place. So, you might just have to, like, join our Discord and look it up.
Yeah, there's an amazing amount of races, 2+ over these few weeks of Swiss.
Well, I'm just talking about right now. Like, there are 5 races happening right now.
Yeah, we have a ton of Final Fantasy randomizer happening, and I mean, right now we're getting to be here thanks to the Speed Gaming Network. Really appreciate them hosting this Final Fantasy randomizer race tonight. Huge props to you, Wout, and to our tracker, Danny. Chaos still has a lit 2 waiting for.
Yep.
We're seeing both of the attackers buffed. That's 8 hits, 505. Fade for 149. Stun touch. There is.
That is the most beautiful way the seed could have concluded, is with a stun touch chaos.
And no cure 4. This is such a Woat seed, isn't it? Does this not feel like a Woat seed to you?
Oh, this is no. This is a Woat special. This is the essence of the Woat special.
That was... Wow. Luckily, Chaos did not roll up to like 4,000 HP like it can. So,
and, yep, that is xRussianbishop finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 3 seconds. The link to Durrun's stream is in chat. If you want to see him finish up this run, then by all means follow him. But we are going to go ahead and get out of here so that Link to the Past can have their race happening. So,
congratulations to xRussianbishop.
Yeah, congrats xRussianbishop, and yeah, we'll catch y'all later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Speed Gaming 5. Enjoy your Link to the Past.